I'm June. I've been married to Brian for 42 years, and on the 4th of February 2009 he was diagnosed with frontal temporal dementia, which we are living well together.
June, thank you for having us join you and Brian today. We've come back from our beautiful walk along the canal here in the Cotswolds. I wanted to ask you, what do you feel is, how do you feel that the walking impacts on Brian and on yourself and on your life together here?
I think it can add value to someone affected by dementia, because when they're with a carer 24/7, there are very few opportunities to be yourself,
Yeah.
to think what you want to think, to do what you want to do. So that walk is just 1 hour a day of solitude, if you like.
Yeah.
I appreciate solitude means different things to different people, but I think it's a very healthy way to go forward.
And Brian was talking about the importance of it dampening down or calming down his condition. Is that something that you see when Brian comes back from his walk, that he's a calmer person? What sort of effects do the walks have on him?
Well, because he walks first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
he hasn't had a lot of time to become anxious
Yeah.
between getting up and going for his walk. But many times every week, he returns saying things like, "Guess what I've seen this morning?"
Okay.
Tiny toads or frogs or newts, or some wonderful new ducks that have hatched. So the pleasure that he gains from walking along the canal must be having a very calming influence on him. You can't have that much pleasure on a walk and then come back strung up or anxious or frustrated.
And one of the questions that I asked Brian, it'd be interesting to see your take on it too. This phrase that's used a lot in sort of reports and policy and government circles increasingly is living well with dementia. What does that term mean for you, and in relation to what we've done today, going out walking?
Living well with dementia for me means that immediately after diagnosis, options open up. It's necessary to make choices. Sometimes there are things that you've been too busy to do, that you suddenly realise can add value to your life, can be important. I think walking's one of them. Often we're all too busy doing other things to go for a walk and enjoy the beauty that surrounds us. It's free. And nobody can take away the countryside from us. So I think in terms of living well with dementia, so many choices to be made, things you have to stop doing, but often things you may want to do, such as take up drawing or even writing, simple writing, creating your own memoirs, your own storybook, invaluable. And I think walking can come well within those choices of what you can do when you have to drop off the things that perhaps no longer you can do.
And finally, what are your thoughts about today? We've been taking part in a film today, and Brian's been walking along the canal and being filmed walking along the canal. What are your thoughts and feelings about today and the experience of today?
I think it's important that we get the message out that receiving a diagnosis of dementia does not need to be as earth-shattering and life-ending as it could be. Brian and I knew nothing about dementia. We were forced to learn about it, and we started our own dementia adventure 16 months ago. So the message we would like to say to people is, do what you can as soon as you can, and don't wait until it's too late for you to be able to add real value to your lives. So that really is what I see as the message coming out of today. Whatever you do doesn't need to be dramatic. It can be very simple. It doesn't need to cost money. It can be free.
Yeah.
Walking is a simple, free exercise which can add immensely to your feelings of well-being. And once you start and you experience the pleasure of it, then I think that is what has come out today. There's immense pleasure to be had from simple walking in the countryside.
So, how to conclude about today and the film. I've found the experience of conducting this walking interview with Brian a very calm, very peaceful, very tranquil place to be here in the Cotswolds along the canal and in Brian's company. And it's been a fascinating experience to learn more about why this place is so important to Brian and why exercise helps him live well with dementia. And I've learned a lot about him, about this place, but also about how to go about capturing the essence of the importance of these places on film, which is one of the challenges. I hope you feel that we've done that successfully, and certainly I know that Brian and June and myself have enjoyed making and sharing this film with you, and we certainly hope that it encourages people to consider the importance of green spaces and exercise in living well with dementia. Thank you.